you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, Law?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Dohalim's fighting style is... what's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No...
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh rending cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
I think it's time we go to sleep. Come on, guys. We've got lots to do. Hey, that looks pretty good.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning. We're in for a long slog with this one. This one is mine.
You're mine!
Where are you going? I'm ready!
You're finished!
Tiger Blade!
Airborne beast! My specialty! Do it! This one's mine!
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed bolt.
Freezing storm! On guard! I tornado! Going in!
Here I come! Lunar Rondo!
This one's mine!
You're on! Take this! I'm ready!
Reload! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go!
I feel sprightlier than before.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
All right. There's nowhere to run from my heart.
When he slows down, that's our chance!
I'm only getting
Leave the agile ones to me.
Tiger Blade!
Can't get out of this!
Look sharp!
Prepare to be seized! In a bind?
On guard!
You're mine!
Freezing storm!
Can you take it?
This one's mine!
Hold nothing back!
Water snake,
I'm ready! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Spirit Flame! Reload!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Look sharp!
Double Demon Fang!
Tiger, make it rain!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
I sense it.
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always...
Don't get careless!
Don't tell me!
Lunar Rumble! This one is mine!
Double Demon Fang! In a bind?
I'm not so good with airborne
Get
targets.
behind me! Lunar Rumble! Do it!
Frozen?
Hammer!
My turn! Take this!
Lunar Rumble!
Hurrah!
Glacial Demon Fang!
Not the
Freeze Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! On your knees. Leave the charges to me!
Lunar Rondo! Mirage! Plasma Shock! I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
So, fire and earth astral energy, huh?
A perfect combination.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you.
Let the marksman handle this!
Snake could be a visual fight.
This one's mine! Confiscate!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance. Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours too! Leave the enemy's arm! Make your way!
In an instant! Impact Frost! We work well together.
Make your way! Kizara! Go for it! Prepare to crumble! None shall escape my judgment! Make your way! Ray! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Double Demon Fang!
It's like trying to keep up with a wall.
Look sharp! It's on! Mirage! You got flyers!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
The enemy woods are
All yours!
We'll soon see about that.
Now arcs were interrupted!
Do it!
Take this!
Xion, astral energy, full throttle!
Take this!
Mirage!
I shall ensure you survive this.
Glacial spear, pierce evil.
I'm ready!
Kizara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! Resonate
Next
my
person ready. Annihilation.
Mirage!
Art expert coming through.
air pressure!
You're mine!
Do it.
River!
Astral energy.
Say no more! Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen. Bad feeling about this.
You're finished!
Shot! Shattering the pieces! Attack!
Soaring Light Spear!
Going in!
Plasma Shock!
On guard!
This one's mine.
It's over! Mirage!
Luna Storm!
Smash you!
Downfall.
Mirage!
Stop the Tiger Blade.
Take this!
Resonate with the earth!
Plasma Shock!
Stalagmite!
Mirage! I'm ready!
Jolene, this one's got your name on it.
Action to action! A merry distraction!
There's still more to go.
Not a chance!
One more!
Here goes.
On your knees!
It's over! Mirage!
Glacial spear, pierce evil.
I'm not done!
Freeze lancer.
Take this!
Tiger blade.
Demon Fang!
Elusive deity!
Lunar corruption.
You're mine! It's over!
Tiger blade.
Do it! Jolene! In an instant! Impact Frost!
won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
Coming through! Can't get out of this!
Tiger Blade!
It's over!
Denied! Primed and ready!
I'll smash you!
Take this!
Prepare to be sealed.
Tiger Blade!
Perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
You're mine!
This one's mine!
Do it!
Why'd you hear me?
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together. Like a finely timed waltz. You're finished!
Falling storm! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa! Going in!
Double Demon Fang!
Catapult!
Crush!
Tiger Blade! Make it break!
Blow them away!
On guard!
I'm ready!
Lost! Get toasty!
Burn strike! I've still got a ways to go. Hey, new equipment!
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around...
Let's dispose of the trash.
It's over! Double Demon Fang!
This one's mine!
Now or never! Plasma Shock! This one's all mine! Damn it! Burn in hell! Plasma Shock!
Burn up! Do it!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
We did it!
Magnificently done! Take this!
Going in! Freeze Lancer!
Plasma Shock!
Blade!
Can you take it? Take this!
You've got a knack for battle.
I still plan on training though.
That's what I like to hear. Primed and ready!
Can you take it? Demon Fang! Plasma Shock!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. I sure have built up a sweat for this.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Mirage! Plasma Shock! Burn it hell! Plasma Shock! Tear! Hurricane Draw! Mirage! I'll take you all on! Okay, here I go!
And just like that, I'm back in it.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than
I'm
done.
ready! Go! In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together. Like a finely timed waltz. Luna Rongo! Mirage! Double Demon Fang! Plasma Shock!
You're stronger than any Renin soldier I know.
They don't just let anybody have a place, Royal Guard.
So I still had room to grow.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
Out of my way!
You're mine! Mirage! Plasma Shock! Take it!
One more!
Tear!
Hurricane Thrust!
Tiger Blade!
It's over!
Confiscated!
You're mine!
Far enough!
You're finished!
Negative gate! This
In a
one's
bind?
mine! 20 left!
Burn in hell!
Giant instant!
You're mine!
One mistake!
Miracle! I'm ready! Miracle! Look sharp! Lightning
Tiger
Tiger Blade!
Blade! Right here! I got you!
Here I come! Miracle! Hurricane Thrust! You're finished!
This
Blast
one's mine!
Shock!
Here's evil!
Negative
Mirage!
gate! Armor won't save you! Resonate with the earth! Wrong! Stalagmite!
Double Demon
Take it
Blade!
away!
You're finished!
Looks like we won.
Out of our way!
Here I come!
This
You
one's
want me?
mine!
Come get me! Elusive deity!
Blast
I
Shock!
never miss!
Cosmic spin!
Here! Hurricane
Tiger
Thrust!
Blade!
All mine!
Fury! Burning strike!
Burn!
Glacial speed! Do it!
You're mine!
Time to shine!
In an instant! Impact Block!
We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Mirage!
Art expert coming through! Mega ray!
Lunarongo!
Water! Not in your dreams!
You're finished!
This one's mine! Negative gate! I'm gone!
Hurricane Thrust!
Ready and clear! Denied!
Take this! You're finished!
A lord's power never ceases to amaze me.
Former lord. I'm as regular as the next man.
Hurricane Thrust!
The next man who
Then
used to be
the
a
sky
lord.
is so that's how a lord fights.
I don't perform as well when I'm observed.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear you. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Right, here goes! Strike!
I never miss!
Ignite!
Lunar corruption! By the power of fire!
You're mine!
Annihilation!
New melody!
Mega ray!
Armor won't save you!
Not in your dreams!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me!
Giant instant!
I'm gone!
Lunarongo!
None shall escape my judgment!
Tiger Blade!
Burn!
Ray!
Plasma Shock!
Rolling stone! Burning strike!
Lunarongo!
Here's evil!
Take this!
Blaze Lancer!
It's over!
Elusive deity!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
I need to be stronger.
An opponent like this should be easy. Double Demon Fang!
Far enough!
I'm not done! Plasma Shock!
No further!
Mirage! Plasma Shock! You're mine!
Armor won't save you!
Lunarongo!
Here goes!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
I think the enemy is getting desperate.
Got them where we want them.
Don't take your hand, though.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content. Do it!
Reload! Light burst forth!
Radiant devastation!
Not a chance!
Searing flame!
Lunarongo! Mirage!
Elusive
Do
deity!
it!
I'll thank you! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! I still got a ways to go!
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Hey, look at that enemy. It's shining.
It'll take more than that to break my shield.
Dependable to the last.
Lunar Rondo! It's
Going
over!
in like moths to the flame.
It's on! Burn!
This one's
Take
mine.
this!
One more.
Mirage!
No further!
I'm ready!
Mine. I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
My turn! You're mine!
Where are you going?
I'm not done!
Ready to
Radiant
go.
light! Force of regeneration!
Cyan instant!
Regeneration!
Make it rain.
Here!
Blow them away!
Now! Take this!
Tempest!
Elusive
Arc Steel!
Do it.
Lunar Rondo! Ignite! We did it!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart!
Your heart control.
It's over!
Tiger blade. Make it ready.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone. Good to know my training is paying off.
Guess I misread the land.
Discourteous son.
Water, hear my call!
Denied.
Where are you going? Let them march them!
Mirage! Blast the shot!
Hear me! Flame of Fury!
Eat dirt!
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's
You
still
are
more to go!
afraid.
Come at me! I never miss!
You're finished!
Art expert, coming through!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Glacial Spear, pierce evil!
Here I come! You're mine!
Air pressure! I should be of some use to us now.
You weren't exactly dead weight before.
Except in regard to doing basic chores. Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around.
Don't mind if I do! Art Steel!
Blast the shot!
In a bind?
You're mine!
Tiger Blade, pierce evil!
Not today!
Tempest!
Blast the
Make it
shot!
rain!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Hear my call! Not in your dreams!
Don't suffer in silence.
Glacial Spear, pierce evil!
Tear! Hurricane
Free
thrust!
Blazer!
Strike! Lunar
Resonate
Rondo!
with the earth.
Mirage!
I'm ready!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Not a chance! I'm not done! Mirage! This one's all mine! I'm not done! Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Now! You're mine!
Look sharp! I'll face you.
Make it rain!
To die next!
Solo Demon
one's
Blade!
mine!
Seal! By the power of water!
Here I come! Lunar Rondo!
Glacial Spear,
Mirage!
pierce evil!
It's over!
Piercing roar!
Elusive deity.
Look
Hitting pile driver.
Take this!
I'm all
I'm
fired
ready!
up!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Together, there is nothing that can stop us.
Indeed. As one, we are
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being an... Forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
What's that big tower over there?
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Guess I'll polish up my sword.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law? I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
And the truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
This is a true masterpiece, no less than culinary art.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Always love the sound of hammers banging away. Not this way, I guess. Not this way, I guess.
I never miss. I'm going. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Hurricane thrust!
Take! I'm ready!
We're in good form! Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you? Take this! Take this! Stop! Double Demon Fang! Catapult!
Enjoy.
Here goes! Water snake break!
Last shock! Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Try harder!
The abyssal deep.
Take this! Last shock! Stop! Try harder! Not a chance!
First aid!
Look! Last shock!
Take this.
Here I come! You're mine!
Benediction light.
Heal!
Okay,
Here
take
I go!
this.
Try harder! Not a chance!
Cyan instant!
Will this help?
Light up the
Ah! Not today!
Show me your strength. Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
In a bind,
Last shot!
Take this.
raging lunar storm.
Hear my call!
Bestow thy mystic mercy. Bestow thy mystic mercy.
I can heal myself, then.
Precisely. As a healer, you cannot be risked.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...